All right, so here's the deal. Archives. License to kill. Pistols only. But Odd Job is banned. All right, my friends. Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We got an odd one here for you. This deck, I saw it, immediately knew I had to play it. Face Matt 5-0 with this list in a Magic Online League. Oh boy. Lukka, Coppercoat, Outcast, Emrakul, the Aeons Torn, Obosh, the Preypiercer. So what do we got here? All right. At the core of it, this looks to be kind of like the Gruul core we're pretty used to in Modern. Kind of like the Gruul Ponza / Gruul mid-range core. Utopia Sprawl, Arbor Elf, Bonecrusher Giant, Blood Moon. All cards are pretty used to. Mana Acceleration, Blood Moon effects to kind of throw your opponent off. And then usually this deck wins with cards like Bloodbraid Elf or Cloythus, God of Destiny, Glorybringer. Sort of like just these big kind of mid-rangey Gruul cards. But this deck is off the radar in a number of ways. The most impressive being Lukka, Coppercoat, Outcast. 5 mana for a Planeswalker. This card was very good in Standard for a while, and this is the Polymorph Planeswalker, or the Transmorgify Planeswalker. 5 loyalty, 5 mana. You +1, you can exile the top 3, and you can play any creatures you hit with it, which is pretty good, honestly. You're playing a lot of creatures. More importantly is the -2, which allows you to exile a creature you control, and then flip cards from the top of your deck until you hit a creature with a higher mana cost, and put it into play for free. And, well, every card costs 1 or 3, so if you sacrifice a 3-drop, you are guaranteed to get your 15-drop in Emrakul, the Aeons Torn. Pretty nice little package here. Lukka isn't that bad by itself. It can draw cards, things like that. We have a lot of mana acceleration, can cast it early, but being able to play an Emrakul and still have a Planeswalker in play is pretty awesome. And the other big factor here is Obosh. And it's been pretty funny that Obosh, Lurrus of a Dream Den, Yorion, these have been the really popular companions, but Obosh has been really popular lately. Seeing play in Standard, in Adventure, kind of ramp decks, and seeing a decent amount of play in Modern, in a lot of prowess decks, kind of mono-red decks. Mono-red Obosh has been floating around, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, this is kind of a weird companion. You can only play cards that are odd mana costs, but it does slot in really well in these red-green decks, where you get to just play a Bird's Paradise on turn 1, and then a 3-drop on turn 2. It kind of just makes sense, Also have Bonecrusher Giant, which can fill in your 2-drop slot as a stomp. So makes a lot of sense. A little free value for a deck that's playing a lot of mana ramp. Flooding is a real concern. So having the ability to kind of have this card off to the side that's free, you can go and grab it at pretty low deck building cost is pretty nice. We also got some Trinispheres here. Another powerful kind of prison effect alongside the Blood Moons. Really good against Death Shadow, Burn, combo decks, things like that. Doesn't hurt us too much. Most of our cards cost 3 or more. That's the main deck. Oh, I'm sorry. Seasoned Pyromancer is just too good not to mention. This card's obviously really, really, really good. This is kind of the card that makes these kind of mid-range red decks work because it just draws cards. A lot of card advantage here. Wait till you're empty-handed, play it, draw 2 cards, it dies, make 2 tokens. Just does a lot for your mana here. Pretty great card. Sideboard's got a lot of the usuals you'd expect in a red-green deck. Anger the Gods. We can't play Tormod Script. So you're playing Soul Guide's Lantern. Kind of interesting choice here of Soul Guide's Lantern over Relic of Eternatus. Relic's obviously a very, very commonly played card. And Pithing Needle, Reclamation Sage, Burst Lightning. Obviously a little constrained here by having to play only odd costs. Not too bad. And Veil of Summer, of course, very, very good. Deck's just beyond words. I got no words for this deck. It's just freaking awesome. So we're going to play it, but first, good word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, round 1. We love win and die rolls with this deck. Obosh, I choose you. And no companion for our opponent. Pretty good hand here. We have the Arbor Elf and Utopia Sprawl kind of fix here. This is a really, really good 4 mana on turn 2. Unfortunately, no Bloodbraid Elf in our deck. There's no Chandra, Torch Defiance. There's no 4-drop we can cast on turn 2 consistently, but still really, really good, obviously. So we're trying to get ourselves a forest here. 2 red sources is plenty. One ball against a 6. No real clue what they're on over there. Come hang out with me, Obosh. Come hang out with me, right? Right there. You just hang out with me. We're going to have a good old time here, right? We're going to have a good old time. All right, let's go. Lead on the old Arbor Elf. If you are absolutely sure your opponent is playing Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt, etc., and you really want to have 3 mana on turn 2, you lead on Sprawl. But in all other scenarios, you leave on Arbor Elf, so you can go Sprawl on 2 and then tap for 4 mana. Oh, they got Lava Dart, so we didn't know that, obviously, but that's okay. Not really the end of the world. If they're playing Spire Bluff kind of Lava Dart, they're not playing some sort of broken deck, so we're going to have plenty of time to set things up. I imagine our Kitchen Finks is going to be pretty good here. A little awkward, because we could play Sprawl on an untapped Stomping Ground and have Stomp up, but that seems a little unnecessary in the face of a possible prowess deck here. We're just going to Sprawl. We're going to name red. We're going to name red, and we're going to say go here. Kitchen Finks should be quite good against them. They're playing Lava Dart. Probably looking at some sort of, is it prowess deck here? Maybe a Sprite Dragon or a Storm. Yeah, there you go. Sure. So pretty easy stomp target. A little awkward mana-wise because we can only play 1 spell next turn if we stomp, but we got to kill the dragon before it gets too big. If they have a mutagenic growth, we're going to be in a world of hurt. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sprite Dragon is quite good. Definitely a good card. I don't like this pause here. I don't like this pause here at all. Like, what could they possibly be thinking about if they didn't have a free spell? They've already dealt damage to me, so they shouldn't want to pump their Sprite Dragon. And it is their end step, which is kind of a weird spot to have a stop. You have Lava Dart in the graveyard, but they're not pumping this thing up twice with a single Lava Dart. So I have no idea what's going on here. Very, very bizarre pause. All right, so we're going to untap and draw. Pause in the upkeep, too. All right, sounds great. I shudder to think how much of my life has been wasted waiting for my opponents who have stopped my upkeep and don't hit F6. I shudder. All right, so like we said, it does kind of suck to have to stomp here because everything we have costs 3, but taking the Sprite Dragon off the battlefield and not allowing it to get big is huge. So please don't have a mutagenic growth or some sort of Phyrexian mana spell. That would be really, really bad for us. Well, we're probably dead now because turn 2 Sprite Dragon, it's going to be too big to kill at this point going forward. And our hand is not very fast. You know, we're not putting Emrakul in play. Kitchen Finks is a okay magic card, but it's a slow magic card. And I think we're in big trouble here. Mutagenic Growth is profoundly good against red-based removal decks. If it was a Fatal Push or a Sword Splash, come on now. A Path to Exile, it's a joke. But against red removal, the growth is really good. All right, our opponent, I would like to have our opponent sped up a little bit. They're playing pretty slowly. We can Pyromancer next turn, start ditching these Kitchen Finks. Trying to find some more real cards here. Finding a Lukka would be ideal. And to get ourselves Emrakul, because I imagine the Sprite Dragon is going to be really, really big next turn. Probably far too large to kill. Soulscar Mage. And Soulscar Mage actually invalidates Kitchen Finks because it makes damage dealt in the form of -1/-1 counters, which means that Kitchen Finks will not persist. So Kitchen Finks is almost worthless at this point. They're going to sack a land and Lava Dart me just to get the Sprite Dragon to 3 power and attack. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. They have 2 cards left. Post-combat Stormwing Entity. So, despite the mulligan, pretty good opening from our opponent. They had the growth for a burn spell. They've got a couple fast flyers here. This Pyromancer's got to do really, really good for us. That's the start. No, it's not. Not really. All right, we're going to Pyromancer. We're pitching both Finks here. Well, good news, bad news. So we found the Lukka we wanted. Great. We also found the Emrakul. And if we draw Emrakul, the only way to get it back into our deck is to draw another Seasoned Pyromancer and discard it so it shuffles back in. We don't have that currently. And we didn't draw land for Stomp. So basically the worst of everything that could be happening in this game is happening in this game for us. Oh, man. Couldn't even draw a land to Stomp. We could Stomp Soulscar Mage here. Like, maybe we have a chance. But, yeah. Drawing Emrakul, pretty... definitely the downside to decks like this. You know, you are playing one copy of Emrakul. You don't want to draw it. It's not common you draw your one of, but it can happen. You know, we do have the backup plan of discarding it to Pyromancer, you know, to kind of try and get out of that. But I can't imagine we're not super dead here. I wish our opponent played a little bit faster and just kill us, but... Lava Dart again. So this is many, many prowess triggers off of the off of everything basically. So we're just super dead here. I mean, this is an attack for 10 in the air. If any of the burn spell, we're dead. So yeah, large flying creatures. A pretty good draw from our opponent. Killed us on turn 4 through a couple interactive spells. Pretty good. Unfortunately, we don't really answer large flying. I mean, if they have the mutagenic growth, I think we're just dead. Like, realistically. Because we just can't kill the creature. We just can't kill a Sprite Dragon once it gets to be too big, you know? We can definitely try and get, like, Emrakul down and stuff, but our Blood Moons look pretty bad, as does Magus the Moon. Chandra's defeat ain't ideal, but you can kill some of their stuff. Burst Lightning's also fair. It plays too. And then we need 2 more cards. I mean, Veil of Summer don't really work. Needle doesn't really work. Soul Guide Lantern's not particularly great. I guess Anger of the Gods is like okay. It's probably just better than Blood Moon is. It is pretty awkward because we also have our Arbor Elves and our Birds here. I might actually just leave in 2 Magus of the Moon. I don't think that Anger of the Gods is... I think that, like, if we're going to be racing, killing our own stuff is just too devastating. So we'll leave in 2 Magus. It's just like the... I guess Soul Guide Lantern could be a thing. Just cycles, because Magus is pretty bad. But turn 2 Magus, like, could screw them up. I think this is fine. They could obviously kill with Lightning Bolt and stuff too, but maybe Lantern's better, actually. Magus is pretty bad. I'll bring in the Lantern, too. Alright, so we'll try this again. Once again, mutagenic growth, really, really good here. So it's basically, it's going to always save a creature from Stomp, even without prowess. And the 2 mana, you spend 2 mana on a Stomp and they counter it for free. It's just a huge, huge tempo swing. Monumentally huge. Definitely an interesting deck. I haven't really seen an Is It Prowess deck in a while. Most of the Prowess decks just become mono red. It's definitely interesting. Sprite Dragon is a very, very powerful card. Match 1. Lukka. Playing 20 lands? It's like a little light, I guess. Only 20 lands. We do have, actually have 4 Arbor Elf, 4 Sprawl, and 3 Birds of Paradise. That's an additional 7 mana sources in our creatures. Pyromancer can draw cards too, I suppose. Opponents really taking to the wire here. Happy New Year. On the play. Obosh, I choose you again. And hand is not great. We do have Stomp. We do have Lukka. So in theory, this is a turn 5 Emrakul. We do curve out Bonecrusher into, or Stomp into Bonecrusher. We just draw like any spell in the interim. I guess they are a Lava Dart deck, so relying on like Arbor Elf or Birds of Paradise is pretty sketchy. I'm just going to keep. It's not great, but they haven't really seen much of our deck yet. So, Bottom Ball against 6 again. Didn't hurt him last game. We're mostly, as silly as it sounds, just going to hope that they don't draw mutagenic growth. It's kind of silly to be scared of a silly common that's not even good half the time, but it is just so good against us. No 1-drop, sure. Pyromancer is pretty cool. Okay. Let's play Foothills and say go. Probably getting a mountain. Not having a 2-drop isn't that weird because obviously we're playing all 1s and 3s, so pretty suspect. I'm sure they assume Stomp. All right, so here comes the mutagenic growth. So we're gonna actually take the 1, and we're gonna do a Stomp later in the turn because I'm like 80% here they have growth, and we're sure take 3 extra damage from it if we do. So we'll just take the 1. And then we'll try and kill it on end step. And if we kill it, we're like super, super happy. So there's no reason to take a extra damage for no reason. Like in the scenario where they don't have mutagenic growth, we're super happy. So taking 1 doesn't matter. In the scenario where they do have it, taking an extra 2 damage in combat is devastating. So, or 3 damage in combat. So, all right. So that sucks. They had it again, but what are you going to do? Kitchen Finks. I think I would like to Pyromancer here. Discard a Lukka and probably just the Finks. The Finks just doesn't seem very good. It's good to sacrifice the Lukka, but if we get Emrakul in play, we just can't lose. So let's Pyromancer here. Try and draw some removal, maybe. We'll also get some tokens for our trouble, too. So discard Lukka and Finks. Okay. Sure. An inauspicious beginning to our video here. Opponents had the growth both times, and we've drawn Emrakul both times. So, turn 2 Sprite Dragon and a growth. I don't know, like, I would imagine if we played 100 matches, or 100 games with this matchup, if they have Sprite Dragon on turn 2 and mutagenic growth every game, we might win like 20 of those games. Maybe even less, honestly. Like, it's just such a powerful opening against us, so we just can't do anything about it. All right. So we got to find ourselves another Seasoned Pyromancer. Utopia Sprawl. That's not bad, honestly. That's mana source number 5. So just gonna put this here. Actually, I guess we'll fetch a green. I guess we didn't need to do whatever, it's fine. Just a little 6 of one, half a dozen on the other. Sprawl, we'll name red. And I guess we're playing Finks here. We're setting up for, well, I guess Lukka doesn't even do anything. But is Finks better than Bonecrusher Giant? Well, I guess not, honestly. So we'll just cast Bonecrusher Giant. So we can't even like try and trade a 3-drop for another 3-drop. It has to be more. So like the Lukka ability on our 3-drops don't matter. We can Lukka a token and kind of cash up in that regard, but that's really bad against Lava Dart and things like that too. So we'll just beat here. We draw land. Ideally next turn we can put Obosh in our hand and play Kitchen Finks. And Luke, Emrakul, what are you doing to us? What are you doing to us here? You mean lady. 3 cards in hand. They just got it all here. Yeah, they just got it all. Or we'll just probably die, honestly. Yeah, I like I said, I mean, maybe it's honestly like maybe we win 10 of 100 games when they have turn 2 Sprite Dragon with growth on turn 2. It just seems so hard to win against that opening. For our deck specifically, again, if we had Fatal Push or Path to Exile, we wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter. Like, the growth is actively very bad against non-red decks, basically. But can't imagine we're not dead here. Flame Slash, sure. Lava Dart, sure. That kills us. All right, so definitely a somewhat rough start. I mean, the good news is, I highly doubt we're going to play against turn 2 Sprite Dragon and Mutagenic Growth again at any point in this league. So even if we do play against the same deck, which is very unlikely, they have to draw the Dragon and the Mutagenic Growth on turn 2 both games again, which is like basically a Splinter Twin scenario. So we're gonna be fine. I'm not super worried about it. Yeah, it is really funny how like that opening seems unbeatable for us. I guess that we should have like double bolts. We have to have like 2 removal spells early, but we tried bolts. That game all we drew was Bonecrushers, but whatever. Next match. Obosh, I choose you. And we're on the play. No 1-drop again. We do have a 2-drop into Magus or Trinisphere on the play. We're gonna keep. Big question is, do we get a forest or not? That will definitely, if we just like play fetch land and get forest, that makes it very clear that we're playing Blood Moon. So we want to try and conceal that if possible. So we're probably just gonna play a mountain and say go. If you're playing Blood Moon, you really, really don't want your opponent to know you're playing it. So their first few fetches get duels. All right, mountain, go. So we're not getting a tapped dual land anyway, so you want to get basics. So not really losing out on too much here. Ooh, Urza's Power Plant. Nice Magus of the Moon. Utopia Sprawl, right on time. Yeah, I mean, no tricks here. We're just gonna play Rainforest and Utopia Sprawl, I guess. It's really, really obvious what we're gonna do to them next turn, but they can't really do anything about it. So we'll name red here because we're getting another forest. So Blood Moon ahoy. Unfortunately, without Lukka, we aren't really killing them that fast. So that is a mild concern, but Urza's Tower. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get ourselves a forest. Play a little Blood Moon action. Or Magus the Moon. Even better, honestly. I'd say Magus the Moon's actively better against Tron because they can't Nature's Claim it in post-board games and it attacks for 2. So, as a Tron player myself, I definitely prefer to see Blood Moon rather than Magus the Moon. Although, Blood Moon effects are very beatable. Because they can just play lands and cast Wormcoil Engine and stuff. So the pressure is on us to actually kill them. Stomping Ground. Alright, so... We are probably just going to stomp them and play a Bonecrusher Giant. That just puts the most damage on the battlefield. Trinisphere is kind of interesting because it does turn off all of our spheres and stars and stuff. Not turn them off, makes them very hard to use, but I think we try to apply pressure here. So, while it's not the most exciting play in the world, we do that and then do that. Oh my god, I misclicked. That is terrible. I went to hit yes to pay 2 life, but obviously with a Blood Moon in play, I'm just like a muscle memory thing. That really sucks. Because I would want to do literally anything but stomp this turn. You know, I would rather put Obosh in my hand, cast Bonecrusher Giant, put Trinisphere in play. So pretty devastating misclick there. That's just muscle memory on playing a Shockland. That hopefully won't cost us the game, but it honestly probably will. Someone's crying, sure. I mean, hopefully there's no Thragtusk or Wormcoil engine in our future. Just awful. Just awful. Land. No. Not good. Not good. All right. So we're a turn behind here on the old Bonecrusher Giant, but I suppose the good news is we did draw. No, whatever, I tapped wrong. Whatever. We do have mana for Obosh. Next turn we can like Bonecrusher Obosh, and hopefully we can just like get a big Obosh attack in. Obosh, of course, doubles all damage for odd costs. No Thragtusk, no Oblivion Stone. Karn the Great Creator. Interesting. What's Karn gonna get here? I guess Ensnaring Bridge would be pretty bad for us. They have 7 cards in it, though. Walking Ballista? That does kill Magus the Moon. We'll take their entire turn, though. And then we have another Magus the Moon. That's pretty funny. Alright, so we'll just kill the old Karnski and play Magus. And I might actually play Trinisphere here. Well, I guess they can just play land. They can just play Land Wormcoil, too. Kill Karn. They didn't get Wormcoil off of the Karn either, which is kind of scary. But they're at 10. Definitely playing second Magus. The question is, do I want to Trinisphere and try and lock down their hand? If they have spheres and stars in their hand and stuff. They're at 10. We are trying to kill them. Should probably just play the Bonecrusher Giant. I think we're past the point of Trinisphere being super relevant. Just don't play Wormcoil Engine. Obosh. I asked. Oh, this is a ballista. Okay. So, okay. Looking pretty good here. I mean, they are getting to the range of just like casting things, obviously, but Heath. So, if we attack with everything, they can't kill both Magus because they can't shoot twice and kill one in damage or kill one in count. So we just attack with everything here. I suppose they could just block a Magus. No, they're 10. They can't. So they can't block Magus. Just let it die, and then on their turn, add a counter and kill their Magus. So I think we're in good shape here. I imagine those block Bonecrusher and then shoot a Magus and take 6. And there'll still be a Magus in play on their turn. So it should be good for us. And then we're probably just going to Obosh. And I think Finks. I don't think Trinisphere really matters. They're going to kill the other Bonecrusher Giant. Sure. Trying to take less damage. Okay. So they go to 6. And we're going to play Kitchen Finks. And then we're going to put Obosh into our hand. And set up for next turn. Which certainly presents lethal. And even if they were to spend their turn like cycling stars and spheres, they wouldn't win anyway that way. So Trinisphere is basically worthless there. So very fortunate that our misclick there did not cost us the game. We'll take that one. We're going to bring in Pithing Needle. I mean, Especially, I guess that's it. I mean, we have Needle to name like Karn or Oblivion Stone. I mean, our lightning bolts aren't particularly great. Neither are the Bonecrusher Giants. Bolts actively like pretty bad. No real artifact removal on the board. I guess Rex Sage is fine too, right? You just kill like mappers, spheres, or stuff. Probably just cut the bolts. I mean, Kitchen Finks is also pretty freaking bad. But Bolt is like... Bolt can kill a Karn that minuses, and it can possibly kill like worm tokens and stuff, but like it's really pretty bad. We could cut, and the Finks are pretty terrible also though. Just cut the Finks. The Finks are like really, really bad. They're good with Lukka, but definitely a little soft in general as a card in the modern format. Obosh, I choose you. Ooh, that's a hand. I'm gonna mulligan that one, but I'm mulligan 6 also. I mean, you can't mulligan turn 2 Magus. We're gonna keep this. We'll just ship a let me Stomping Ground. Opponent's on 5. Opponent's on 4. Smart Tron player, at least mulliganing a lot. Opponent's on 3. Alright, I prefer not to lose this game. Let me draw a Utopia Sprawl too. Oops. That's pretty good. I mean, let's give me the old Arbor Elf. Double Tower, Sauron, and Saruman. Maze Mine Tome in Tron. Interesting. Pithing Needle. That's pretty funny. Alright, so I almost think we don't even bother needling the tome. I kind of want to just needle Oblivion Stone. That's a card that actually like matters. We're certainly casting Sprawl. Gonna name red. I said, gonna name red. And play Needle. And I imagine they'll respond here by scrying 1. And I think we still name Oblivion Stone. I don't think them drawing a card or 2 is going to really matter. They're so down on resources that, like, if they just go land Oblivion Stone, that could be a way for them to get back in this game. But just, like, trying to draw enough lands to cast a Wormcoil is pretty ridiculous. And they're so far from Tron. So, I think Oblivion Stone. Just there you go. This is about where Obosh is going to shine. We don't really have anything else. We just put Obosh into our hand. And they're going to scry here, which is kind of interesting because they don't really have, like, they have 1 card in their hand. Like, what else could they possibly have to do aside from just draw a card? You know, like, this mana is just wasted anyway, so kind of weird. But sure. Another Bolt. Okay, I mean, put Obosh into our hand. 1, 2, 3 is not enough for that, so. I mean, Obosh does double damage, so turns these lightning bolts into 6s, which is pretty good. They're just scrying again. I don't really understand. Just draw some cards, you know? Alright, Obosh. Magus of the Moon number 2. That doesn't seem necessary. Here he is. The Preypiercer. Get in for 4. 1 red, 6 damage in our hand. 6. Count them 6. They are DOB, dead on board. Maybe our opponent doesn't realize you can draw cards with this card. Like, I don't really get it. You just have all this mana you never use. Why not just draw some cards? That's 4 of the 3 cards I could have drawn. Sylvan's crying, sure. So, you're dead. Imagine we're supposed to beat the Tron deck, so don't get too excited. Works for me. Works for me. So the 6 Blood Moon deck takes down a Tron deck. We like that. We like that. Kind of a pair of somewhat uninteresting games to start, but that's just the nature of Modern occasionally, you know? We've seen some Sprite Dragons. We've seen Sprite Dragon and Maze Mind Tome, the 2 unexpected 2-drops we've seen so far. And these 2-drops got to be on our opponent's side because we can't play 2-drops. Yeah, that's sign me up for another Tron deck, please. Sign me up for another Tron deck. Keep this hand. Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. Don't mind if I do. Okay. So definitely some sort of Primeval Titan deck. We're just gonna Arbor Elf. Misty Rainforest. Breeding Pool. Okay. Renin 6. Oh, ouchie wowie. That is a devastating card for us. That's really, really bad. Yeah. I mean, we're just playing into it, unfortunately. Try and keep them off their lands and get the Renin 6 down to a manageable size, I suppose. Real bad for us. Really hoping they were playing like Amulet Titan or some other non-Renin 6. Probably the Teamer Scapeshift deck. It's like a fair deck that plays Scapeshift. Definitely have like Lightning Bolt stuff for Magus the Moon too. This could be a messy one, folks. Could be a messy one. Oh my god. No. Who printed this card? Why? Why are you like this? Alright. Yeah. So they've absolutely murderlated all my mana creatures. They're up infinite cards at the moment, basically. And they're probably playing Lightning Bolt. So this is a matchup where we'd rather have Blood Moon than Magus the Moon. For sure. Slight good news is they can't keep fetching, but there are 2 lands in their graveyards. It's not like they're like, you know, this is still 2 mana, kill a creature, draw 2, which is pretty good. And threaten ultimate, I guess, too. So, Trinisphere. Trinisphere is pretty good, actually. We're going to attack Renin 6 and see what happens. They could, like, play a Naked Snapcaster. Just let it hit. It's fine, too. Let's play a Trinisphere. All of our cards cost 3, and they're I assume they're playing some cards that are cheap. Lightning Bolt, counter spells, maybe Opt. Not like super up my Modern deck list. I haven't played a ton of Modern lately. It's hard to keep track of all the formats, you know? Is it Charm to shock the Magus of the Moon and then play Opt? Yeah, that's not good for us. I mean, only 3 lands in play here. We're down like 4 or 5 cards already. Only playing 1 spell a turn too. This could be rough for us. And they just have a land every turn now. This Renin 6 is so stupid. Bonecrusher Giant. We're just gonna jam Pyromancer here and try and draw some lands. I can't play Pyromancer, I only have 1 red. Awkward. Alright, well. Magus of the Moon it is. Let me know in the comments. Is Renin 6 too good? Is this card just too good? It's banned in Legacy. Just like Such an unbelievably good card. It's obviously just not good against like unfair decks. It can end up being just like red green, draw 2 lands. But oh boy. Cryptic bouncy, yeah. So we're completely screwed here. They just have a personal Halley Mine in play. They have Mystic Sanctuary in their deck. No Mystic Sanctuary? Wow, okay. And we're playing 1 spell a turn for the rest of the game. Yeah, we're getting 3 of your mana creatures murdered by Verdant 6 is not a good way to start a match of Magic. And I assume they're playing what's it called? Mystic Sanctuary. We're gonna get Scape Shift here, probably. Scape Shifted. Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah. Seems a little tough. If they screw it up here, I think we're still in bad shape. Yeah, so Red 6 is like kind of a problem. The issue is I don't know if it's a problem we can really solve. 5 damage target red creature or red planeswalker. I mean, Chandra's defeat does kill Red 6, I guess. We also have Soul Guide Lantern. Could like preempt it with Pithing Needle. It's something like crazy. Like they're for sure playing 4 Red and 6s. Veil of Summer's also not bad. The problem is like there's like a combo deck too. Our Magus of the Moon do turn off the combo, but I would say our Lightning Bolts and our Bonecrusher Giants are pretty bad against them. I almost mind bringing this like his entire package. I don't think our Kitchen Finks are great either. They're not bad though. Like this, they just don't die. They just got the Bonecrushers. Do something like this. We have more cheap spells. This makes Trinisphere a little worse. Bring in so many cheap spells, but seems pretty good as well. Yeah, I think this is fine. Definitely are much better at answering Red and 6 with this configuration. Don't think we're losing much at Bonecrusher Giant, so still have a good amount of 3 mana creatures. I'll trade a Magus them for an Emrakul, you know? Once Emrakul was in play, I don't think they have any way to remove it. They could, like, chain tap it with Cryptic Command, and they could also just kill Escape Shift, but... Oh, Ren and 6. Renny. I do think we're a little light on land. 20 land does seem a little light for a deck that wants to play a 5-drop as soon as possible. And also can't afford to miss if our Llanowar Elf or our Arbor Elf dies. Alright, going first. Obosh, I choose you. I mean, it's got the Accelerator. It's got our best card. One of our best card, maybe. But it's got Domain here. Red, white, blue, black, green. It's pretty funny. I'm going to keep. I don't love it, but Sprawl also just doesn't die to Ren and 6, which is kind of nice, so... we got Obosh hanging out, too. Like, putting Obosh in our hand on turn 2 is, like, not really a plan A, but it is a thing we can do. You know, turn 2, just draw an extra card. Veil of Summer. Alright, it's not the worst. Now we draw a 3-drop. We can play it with Veil of Summer up, which is kind of cool. They didn't fetch end step, which is pretty weird because getting Triome is like pretty good for them. So kind of odd they didn't fetch. This pause here might mean they're like cursing themselves for not fetching. Fetch land again and say go. No, run 6. Small victories, small victories. Magus the Moon. This could be kind of nice. Little Veil Summer backup. They can obviously fetch basics here, which is kind of annoying, but we're in a spot to go like Lukka, and the first Lukka, if it resolves, awesome. If it doesn't, fine. Second Lukka with a Veil Summer backup, possibly. So it's possible their first no fetch was just playing around a Blood Moon effect, which is fine, I guess, but that first Triome really makes your mana hum for the rest of the game, so like, just getting a Triome, having it be a mountain is like not the worst. So end step, fetch, and then just untap. Okay. There's Triome. Red, green, blue, domain. 3 in the pool. Everyone's favorite magic card, Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Put into Valakut, sure. I mean, we might be resolving Lukka here. So the problem is, like, if they have a lightning bolt, but they did let our Magus resolve. So if I go for Lukka here, we go for the minus. We do get blown out by a lightning bolt pretty hard. But I think we're gonna go for it. Could have force negation too, I suppose, but not the end of the world if they do. You draw a land, we can just go again next turn with Veil Summer. We don't draw a land, we can play like a bird. Leave Veil up. Then you play Obosh. I mean, I have to assume they have a negation at this point, because they should probably already be in play if they don't. Lukka. Coppercoat Outcast. 5 mana, 5 loyalty. +1, exile the top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast this card from exile as long as you control a Lukka Planeswalker. Oh, actually, it's not like a Light Up a Sage. It's actually just as long as you control a Lukka. And any Lukka, not just this Lukka. -2, exile a target creature you control and reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal a creature card with a higher converted mana cost. Put it in the battlefield. Rest your bottom library in any order. Alright, so we're going to go for it here. If they have a lightning bolt, they have a lightning bolt. It's well worth it. We win the game basically on the spot if it works. So, all right, they had the bolt. So, not ideal, but we have backup copies of stuff. It is a little weird they fetched the basics and actually had the bolt too, because they could have gotten the Triome, had their mana be a little bit better, but maybe they're playing around future Blood Moons. Maybe they just didn't have the bolt yet. These are all things that could be happening. All right. That's a really good draw. So we'll go over Seasoned Pyromancer. Blue, red for Remand. Now, we can Veil of Summer here if we want to really get this Pyromancer in play. Or we can just let this resolve. If we let it resolve, though, we're like really not doing anything this turn, so I think I'm okay Veiling here. They might have another counterspell, but I really can't really see us doing nothing this turn, so I'm going to go for the Veil. And I don't think they have many 2-mana hard counters, so they're going to attempt to remand the Seasoned Pyromancer again. So this means this remand will not draw a card, and we're still drawing a card anyway. So we're up on this exchange overall. So Pyromancer goes to our hand. Veil resolves, draw a card. And Remand with Fizzles does not draw a card. And we can exile our top 3 here. And we're going to hit a Magus and 2 other cards that don't matter. Oops. So we'll just play Bird's Paradise, I guess, and just pass the turn. They have 4 cards in hand. I feel pretty bad if they had like Growth Spiral into Scapeshift to kill us, but I mean, there's not really a ton we can do about that at present, so. Flame Slash the Birds of Paradise. Interesting. 3 cards left. Alright, I mean, sure. So we get to Magus here, and then see if that resolves or not, and then we can Pyromancer and try and minus Lukka, so let's start with Magus of the Moon. Feels like Cryptic counter Magus bounced Lukka pretty devastating, but really aren't really in a spot to be playing around too much stuff. You're possibly dead to Scapeshift next turn, so that they had that too. All right, so kind of got it all here. Kind of got it all. 3 cards left. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I mean, maybe we screwed up. Maybe we should have played the Pyromancer first, because we could have then played Magus. Magus is more important. Yeah, that was a mistake. I screwed up. I should have cast Pyromancer first, because they have to counter the Pyromancer, we get Emrakul. And if they had countered the Pyromancer, we would have cast Magus and locked out Scapeshift. So that was a mistake. I might have just thrown this game away. It's unfortunate, but... Alright, and we're going to pitch Obosh and probably Lukka. Kitchen Finks, Bird's Paradise. Alright. They're going to Scapeshift kill us. So yeah, we just screwed up really, really bad. For sure. Yeah. It's all the really obnoxious cards. Mystic Sanctuary, Euro. I don't know if we can beat Looping Cryptics. Let's cast Pyromancer, I guess. I'm playing Lukka into Cryptic, obviously, so we'll attack first. Would like to discard 2 birds here, if they let me. We are dead to any Scapeshift, unfortunately. I mean, our deck has no counter spells or discard or ways to stop it. So, Soul Guy Lander's kind of tight. Get that Euro. I don't hate that. Draws a card, too. They only got 2 cards left, so Euro is definitely their plan B aside from Scapeshift. Wow. Wowzers. Alrighty then. Good thing we got another one. What's their thought process here? They want to like bounce their own Sanctuary, which would be great for us. Because now we have Lantern, obviously. They are 12, so we are close to killing them. Only a couple turns away. deep in the tank. Oh, we love it. So they're going to counter bounce their Mystic Sanctuary, which is great for a number of reasons. Most importantly, that their graveyard is not here anymore. So we'll Soul Guide, we'll target the Euros. They can't cast that on their turn. And then if they want to play their Mystic Sanctuary, we just pop the Soul Guide Lantern. So that's awesome. You're on a 2-turn clock as well, so... Doubt they have 2 Mystic Sanctuaries in their deck. Instead, they have all these mountains too, so a fetch land doesn't really scare us. Sanctuary, targeting card to command. Alright, we're going to pop this. Alright. I mean... You have 2 cards left. I don't think Emrakul actually matters. And if we play Lukka and they like counter it and then kill something, we don't have lethal anymore. Like if I play Lukka and minus and they kill the thing we target, we lose everything. We get no Emrakul and now we don't have lethal anymore. I think we're just playing another Pyromancer and playing Kitchen Finks. So the Finks does not get us out of escape shift range, unfortunately. We'll only be at 18. But alright, so Pyromancer again. Emrakul not nearly as good, obviously, when your opponent is combo. Oh, I gotta get started too. All right, that's not a May, so that's fine. Arbor Elf. All right, so I guess I probably should cast the Finks first, but whatever. We're just playing it. Just playing it, saying go. Cards on the table. There you go. There's all of our cards. Beat us. Beat us. Every turn we delay is the turn they have to draw escape shift. Whew. Okay, game 3. Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, sure. Sideboard cards helped out there a lot. Soul Guide Lantern was great. Veil Summer was great. I guess Veil Summer was good. It wasn't great, but still had a pretty good effect on the game. Not the best Lukka matchup. Getting Emrakul seems more important against decks that aren't trying to kill you with one big combo or one big shot. So we can't give the Emrakul haste, so... And they have cheap removal spells and counter spells, so... Lukka's not ideal here, but... Excuse me. I assure you, that was every bit as intense as it looked. Not as intense as our opponent sideboarding again, though. They are really thinking it out here. What do they want to do? How are they going to deal with this Lukka menace? I don't know. I don't know if you can. And while you're waiting, here's a picture of Karn. There he is. There he is. The Karnster. Karn pup. He's doing pretty good. He's taking to crate training and potty training pretty well. Does a pretty good job going outside. He's like 9 or 10 weeks old now. So a little mouthy. I saw my friend Stu posted a meme a few days ago. It was a picture of a puppy that said 0 to 6 weeks puppy. Then a picture of a Velociraptor that said 7 to 36 weeks Velociraptor. And then 37 weeks and on dog. And would not have gotten that meme a few weeks ago, but now I do. Good news, bad news. We have our mana creature. Good news. Bad news, it dies to Ren 6 on the draw. Good news, we would have Chandra's Defeat to kill the Ren 6. Bad news is we don't have land number 3, and losing our elf would suck. But I think we're going to keep. So, opponent is on 6 cards. Ooh. Steam Vents. Tapped. Go. Oh man, I am so nervous for this Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf, I'm so sorry to send you into danger here. I can't even look. Oh no, this is gonna be so bad. Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf's got a family. No, Arbor Elf has a family. He's got a family. Oh, never see his family again. Alright. I mean, that's obviously unfortunate, but them's the breaks. Chandra's defeat is here. And we're gonna kill this right now before they can play fetch land. And just they go. Just your straight 2 for 1. Give them all get a 6 though. So I guess now we're even. They're on the play too, so we are, up cards in theory. In theory. Next turn is Trinisphere or Pyromancer. We'll have to decide what we want to do here. Alright, so Soul Guide Lantern. I think I like playing Pyromancer here. We have 2 1-drops in our hand. Much have remand anyway. Just trying to get on the board if possible before Cryptic comes online too. Trinisphere is like not great against them. Okay, and then we're going to pitch the defeat for sure. I think it's going to be Trinisphere too. I don't think it's that good. Draw Lukka and Kitchen Finks. Okay. We'll draw some lands. Definitely draw lands, but this is a fine start. We have 4 power in play over 3 bodies. End step, tap a green. All right, Growth Spiral, sure. No land. They don't got no land. But Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no lands. That's good for us. That's good for us. They gotta make all their land drops to cast Scape Shift, so feels pretty good. Island, sure. Presence of Blood Moon, making their mana base a little awkward. Sure, Triumph and Verbal. Oh, they drew a land. Oh, they drew a land. And we don't draw a land. Alright, Seasoned Pyromancer. Get some work to do. I think we're playing another Pyromancer this turn. Discarding Lukka Finks if it resolves. Definitely could see a Cryptic here. Really want to make some more land drops. When all your cards cost 3, you just gotta make your land drops. Growth Spiral in response. We know they have no lands in their hand. There's no, they have 4 spells, and they're gonna remand. Kind of, unless they drew the remand off of the Growth Spiral, it would be an awkward sequence because you want to draw a land off remand and then put it in play off Growth Spiral. So, all right, well, I mean, we got this this crew down right now, so all right, we're gonna play a Shockland untapped. There's very little difference between 17 and 15 here. There's like Bluff's Veil of Summer, and might get our Pyromancer to resolve. We might just play the Lantern too. I'm not really sure yet, but no, they're just going for it. Oh, maybe not. So again, bluffing Veil of Summer here. It's a pretty bad exchange if we get to Veil their counter spells. They might be more inclined just to let this Pyromancer resolve. And they counter it, whatever. It's not the end of the world. So definitely well worth 2 life there, given the circumstances of the matchup and how painful it is to get Veils. They have Aether Gust, which obviously you cannot hit with a Veil of Summer. So that's fine. I think we're putting it on top. And we're just going to cast Soul Guide Lantern for now, for sure. Just get it out there. Remove a Scalding Tarn. If they counter this, it's a 1 mana duress. I'm cool with that too, so. So they can get Mystic Sanctuary here, but we are killing them. So if they want to replay last turn and we deal them 4 more damage, I'm cool with that. That is totally cool with me. And they're targeting Remand. Sure. We're going to target just a fetch land, I think. don't think much else really matters. And so you go. And like, only got one green source. Oh, there's another one. Well, they have landscape shift. We're dead. And we can't do not a thing about it. Which kind of sucks, honestly, but hem's the break. Because he might even just not cast a spell here, honestly. Because the problem is, if we cast a spell, we're doing literally nothing. Let them draw a card. Oh, they have Bolt too? Oh. Why do you gotta have it all? Why do you gotta have it all, opponent? Now we have no clock. Oh, this is devastating. This is just devastating. All right. Yeah, I mean, we gotta cast Pyromancer at this point. If the 2/2 had lived and they were at 6, we were on a 2-turn clock, I would just cast nothing because nothing we're going to play matters. We're just giving them extra draw step for no reason. But now we have no power in play, so we got to just try and push through here. And they can just draw Scape Shift and kill us. This is awful. We could draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern and try and draw a land. I don't think that Exile in their graveyard's going to matter that much. Let's cast Pyromancer so they can remand it. Maybe there's a world they don't. Alright. We're going to draw a card. This feels bad, but I don't have Euro yet, and we need to make land drops. That's not the worst either. Please don't landscape shift me. Ugh. No. Why would you draw Euro of a turn after I pop my Soul Guide Lantern? Why are you like this? Alright. Might need Emrakul this game. Alright, maybe not. No land. No land's a start. Alright, so let's play Pyromancer. Resolves. Discard Finks Lukka. Please don't draw Emrakul. Blood Moon. Okay. I mean, I feel like they really have Scape Shift in their hand. But now we have Blood Moon, so if we can just fade for one more turn, we can get Blood Moon down, then get Lukka down, and we have Veil of Summer to defend each. They only have a few cards in their hand. Breeding Pools, yeah, only one Sanctuary. Don't draw land. Yeah, obviously. All right, kind of stinky. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Unfortunately, I think we played this game to the best of our ability, but without any real way to interact with their Scape Shift, it kind of seems like kind of a bad-ish matchup. We always Blood Moons, but we just never really like found the Blood Moon early, and it's tough. Pretty tough, but that's okay. All right. Just couldn't find it fast enough. Too many Kitchen Finks, not enough Blood Moons, you know? Wrong half of our deck. All right, so 1 and 2, kind of a rough start. I will say that I feel like we're a little light on lands and a little heavy on Kitchen Finks. I get that Kitchen Finks is good to sacrifice to Lukka, but it just kind of sucks. This card hasn't been good in Modern in like 9 years, you know? We're a good standard card, but it hasn't been too exciting. Obviously, we haven't played against like, you know, Mono Prowess or Jund or like a fair deck. We played against a combo deck. We played against a flying Prowess stack with Soulscar Mage and Tron. All matchups where the Kitchen Finks look kind of embarrassing, but House of Mana. Let's go. Obosh. All right. Please don't play Wrenn and 6 and murder all my mana creatures again. Please. I'm going to have some deja vu here. We're gonna keep. We're gonna keep. A little Arbor Elf action. Wooded Foothills, sure. Amulet of Vigor. All right. Well, our Blood Moons like should be good if we can draw them. All right. Arbor Elf, sure. Maximize our ability to draw Utopia Sprawl and play a bunch of things next turn. Garen Brig, Explore. Fancy Yargle Explorer, sure. Teleria West. Okay. I should have played the Rainforest, but whatever. I think we're playing Pyromancer, looking for a Blood Moon, so don't need all these Arbor Elves again. Another matchup where Kitchen Finks looks pretty bad. Trinisphere Lukka. Now, Lukka's pretty good here. We're not quite there yet, but Emrakul is kind of a nice one. Well, they have turn 3 Titan here if they have it, which it looks like they do. So no. Azusa Lost but Seeking. Unless they also have the Titan. Bajuka Bog. Sure. 5 mana. Primal Command? What? Okay. We just got turn 3 Primal Commanded on the play. So we have Utopia Sprawl in play, I guess, right? Alright. I mean, we're just gonna replay everything, I guess. And go Seasoned Pyromancer, I guess. And they can Titan us and attack for a lot, but I don't think they can attack for 17. Maybe they can. I don't know. I never know what this deck can do. Just sit back and watch, I suppose. You know, for a Blood Moon deck, we're kind of losing to Malekith and Amulet of Vigor a little too often for my liking. Where are these Blood Moons at? Where are these Blood Moons at? So they can like Garen Brig, make 6 mana, get Titan, get like Boros Garrison and the haste thing. Unless they're playing the other one, the Hanwar Garrison, and they can like attack and get some lands, but Field of the Dead shouldn't really matter against Emrakul. And we are teed up to Emrakul next turn. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah. Get some blockers too, so they need to deal a lot of damage to us. There's your Garrison and your Growth Chamber. And they can search for a Summoner's Pact and get another Titan, I guess. Sure. Double Valakut. Else they can get the 2/4 and then play some lands and kill us. So we're probably just dead either way, honestly. I don't think that Lukka even matters. Because we can't attack with Emrakul. So pretty good turn 4 by our opponent, I guess. Soaking up like 1 or 2 points of damage probably doesn't matter. I think we're just super dead. I don't think it matters. I think we're just dead. They have more land drops too. Pretty good turn 3, turn 4, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we're real dead. All right, that kind of stunk. That was a pretty good hand, I guess. Now we're on the play, so now we can Blood Moon them on the play, and then they can't do that to us. So bring a Rec Sage also. I think that's it. I cut like 2 Kitchen Finks. It's pretty bad. I'm not really interested in Burst Lightning. I guess Burst Lightning kicked kills a 2/4, whereas like Lightning Bolt doesn't kill any card in their deck that Burst Lightning doesn't kill. And while I can deal 1 extra point to them, the Burst Lightnings might be better. Just cut the Kitchen Finks completely also. This card's pretty terrible. We're bringing in a 3-drop anyway. This seems fun. Don't want defeat. Could like Needle Hanwar Garrison to slow down their Titans, but that seems pretty suspect. Yeah. Right. I think if we're on the play that game, we were fine. Wowzers. I think we keep. Just have 1-drop, double 1-drop. If we don't draw land, then Pyromancer. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. This thing can definitely produce a Blood Moon effect on turn 3 pretty easily. This Pyromancer will help us try and find it, hopefully. We have 6 of them. We can just draw 1. I guess Trinisphere is not great against them. Make it a board out of the Trinisphere. Yeah, maybe we don't want Trinisphere. Maybe we do want Needle. Honestly. Me slowing them down a turn is worth it. Opponent mulligan 6. Arbor Elf. Love to draw land here, but if we don't, we're still deploying a decent amount of mana. There's your Amulet, of course. And okay. So now we're going to Pyromancer and try and find a Blood Moon. Discarding at least 1 birds. I suppose Arbor Elf is just like strictly better than birds. We'll do 1 and 1. I doubt we're going to want. We draw a land and a Burst Lightning. It's not ideal, but another Amulet. Oh my god, they return 3-us. I mean, no Reclamation Sage, no Blood Moon. Not ideal. Not ideal. I mean, we could save Stomp for if they play a thing, Azusa. We just play Arbor Elf so we have more attackers. We can put Obosh in our hand too. We can't do everything, I guess. You can't Obosh and Arbor Elf and Stomp. Oh, wait, Burst Lightning, that's true. I think I'm down with putting Obosh in our hand. Leaving up Burst Lightning for Azusa. They have Bounce Land Titan, they just have it next turn. We can't do anything about it, so. Alright. So we'll probably should attack first, but whatever. Alright. You're up. Definitely some opportunity cost here in not playing a 1-drop. Maybe I just play 1-drop, 1-drop. I don't know. I'm not sure. Turn Timber, sure. Nothing? Okay. Trinisphere. Oh boy. It's probably just one drop attack. Do a burst lightning again. Alright, well, there's Titan again. Nope, Dryad of Elysian Grove. Okay. So they have Titan also. I think we are pretty dead. If this Trinisphere had been a Needle, we might have had a chance this game. We'd have been able to Needle the battlements, and that's funny. I might have named Hamwar Garrison by accident. I thought it was called Hamwar Garrison. That had been so embarrassing. Oh man, it's probably better we didn't bring in the Pithing Needle. Snaver's gonna kill us, so it doesn't matter what we do. Yeah, it feels pretty bad. All right, I mean, unfortunately, we just couldn't draw a Blood Moon, and their hands are really good. It's kind of been the story of this league, honestly. It feels like our Blood Moons would be really, really good at basically every point, and we just can't draw them. Couldn't draw it against the Scapeshift deck, couldn't draw it against that deck. So definitely running a little cold here. Running a little cold for sure. I mean, deck still seems super sweet. I do think we're still, a few lands short and a few Finks too many, but I don't know. Trinisphere has been a little weird too. I can see if these Trinispheres were just like 2 more Blood Moons and the spheres were in the board. I kind of get it, but like Trinisphere is very good against prowess and stuff, where Blood Moon is not. But I think if you're going through trouble to play 6 Blood Moons, you should play a full 8 and just put the sideboard card in the sideboard and not try and hedge against like a burn deck of some kind. As you play against prowess, you have to just draw the Trinisphere naturally in a game 1 scenario, and like that'll happen sometimes, but don't know if it's worth it against all the other matchups. So would like to Lukka successfully once, That would be nice. That would be nice. Of course, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, we got an article for this video. That's right. Every video we do on Monday has an article as well. CoolStuffInc.com. I do a video article every Monday, a written article every Friday, and definitely check that out. Last Friday's article all about the MTG Arena Open. I suppose it's already happened, but there are many more opens. It's really, really cool. And tons of free content every weekday on CoolStuffInc.com. No paywall. All right, let's go here, Lukka. Lukka's letting me down. Let's keep. Turn 2 Blood Moon or Trinisphere. Now we got it. So now we actually have the Blood Moon. And if our opponent's playing Mono Red, we have the Trinisphere also. So put them all against the 5. Just like oops all spells, something like that. It'd be pretty funny. Bird go. It's classic. Forest Bird. Arid Mesa. Plains. Core Duelist. This is the like Hammer Time deck. Deck that I almost played today. And a Lukka. Sure. So we're going to Trinisphere here. All of their cards are pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure. We do have Lightning Bolt as well, so Blood Moon, no good here. They are a all plains deck for the most part. Sue me. Getting in for 1. Core Duelist. Land? Gotta draw land here. Ugh. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Take him as they come, I think red here is fine. Draw land next turn. Draw land next turn. Inspiring Bandage. Okay, maybe Blood Moon is good against them. 3 mana for Sigarda's Aid. I mean, now we are dead to a Colossus Hammer next turn, because they can equip it and kill us. So we might need to leave up Lightning Bolt. Although we'll see. And they're going to not attack. It's interesting. And we're going to draw. We're going to draw. I hate you, Kitchen Finks. Yeah, all right. We're going to say go. Leave our Lightning Bolt here. Maybe we should just kill this now. Because they probably have it. And otherwise, they just, like, don't do it, say go. We untap and have to play Lukka, and we can't kill it. We're just going to do it now, actually. If we wait, the problem is that they just do nothing and say go. We can't end step Bolt because they'll be able to put the Colossus Hammer in response. So if we have to untap, and now we can't do anything else, we have to leave Bolt up because they have Hammer, so it's like a terrible spot to be in, so... Okay. That's also going to kill us with the Hammer. It's funny, this is even worse for us as Trample. Whereas the, we could chump block this, we can't chump block this, so... Colossus Hammer is... It is +10/+10. So it is 22 damage coming across. I guess Kitchen Finks does soak that up. The problem is that Emrakul can't even block this and live. So I think we're just dead. Oh, man. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I mean, they have the hammer, I think. I don't know as much we can even do. I mean, Birds of Paradise is an extra toughness. So I guess we'll get a forest here. We'll gain life off of the block on the Finks as well. So the problem is we just get Emrakul, and Emrakul can't beat Swiftblade Vindicator with a Colossus Hammer on it. Not even gonna play it in combat, sure. It has flash, so this is 20 damage. So we're gonna 1. But again, we just have no answer to the Vindicator, so yeah, I mean we can put Emrakul in play, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We still died at the 11/11 double strike trample. That's so funny because if it was just this, it wouldn't be a problem. All right. Just can't buy a win today, folks. We just can't buy a win. All right. Let's bring in our Reclamation Sages and our Burst Lightnings. And Needle doesn't matter because it doesn't actually stop anything. Yeah, so then we're going to cut our Blood Moons are pretty bad. So they have no things that are affected by Blood Moon. I guess they have some, but they are playing red, but they're playing red and they have planes, so just cut all the Blood Moon effects, and I mean, I guess you bring in Needle, because I mean the Blood Moons are actually worthless. I don't want Soul Guide Lantern, I don't want Chandra's Defeat. Anger the Gods is too good against us, I think. I'll bring in Needle. I think we just got to race. I think his hand's just too bad. Needle's pretty bad. Finks pretty bad. Rule spells are like okay, I guess, but I might have a third land here. Like if his Needle's a land, maybe we keep, but we're gonna mulligan. Ugh. Want to keep 7 too? Gross. This is pretty good. So, ship Stomping Ground and Birds of Paradise. As far as 5-card hands goes, is pretty decent. It's like mono white infect. Weird deck. Weird deck. Nothing, go. Burst Lightning. I mean, I guess we're just putting Obosh in our hand. Don't feel great, but Core Firewalk. Nice Burst Lightning, idiot. Bonecrusher Giant. Alright. That's awkward, sure. So the Stomp damage can't be prevented clause can like sort of get us to the Core Firewalker, but we can't target it with Burst Lightning. So like if we play a Seasoned Pyromancer at some point, we can like and they block it kind of thing, but Nexus, okay. Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright, well, Rex Sage handles that, so. Too cowardly to attack, appreciate that. There's no point in stomping here, just untap. Draw land, please. No. Alright, well, we gotta Rex Sage the sword, so. Not a bad exchange, because obviously Rex Sage also lines up well against Firewalker, so. Not drawing lands has been a problem, though. Beat me. What do you got? Punish me. Make it hurt. I don't know what you know. Yeah, I mean that's they probably just had the mental note that like their Firewalker was like immune to everything, so it couldn't die if they attacked, but pretty good Reclamation Sage, killing a Sword of Fire and Ice and a Core Firewalker. White, colorless. No. Man, a Skyclave Apparition would be devastating here. Ugh. Why do I talk? Why do I talk? Land? Well, we drew a land. We can't really... A forest is not exactly what we're looking for. We can't really do anything with that. So I guess we're saying go. And we can leave up Stomp. Taking 2 is not a big deal. We could Stomp something on their turn. And it also stops them from like one-shotting us with the Nexus. So feels bad, but sure. Maybe we do want Blood Moon against them. Turning off Nexus is actually kind of relevant. Cavern of Souls too. Most of these Hammer Time lists that I've seen have been mono white, so it felt like Blood Moon wouldn't be good, but Cleansing Wildfire? That's kind of cool, actually. It just gives us a free mana. That's weird. Alright. Get a mountain. Now I got Burst Lightning up too. Oh, it comes in tapped. So it's like Ghost Quarter. I always think it comes in untapped. So I mean, our play was still correct, but... And a Colossus Hammer, okay. 3 cards in hand? Sure. I mean, we can't take down a Bolt effect, unfortunately, so we're kind of just stuck here because we can't draw lands. It just turn 6, we only have 3 lands in play. They're willing to play the hammer like that. They definitely have some way to equip it, like Core Outfitter, or I believe there's a Magnetic Theft is the raid card that can put an equipment on something. So, like, they definitely have something. So we can't tap out, and we just don't have enough lands to play multiple spells in a turn. So, fire it up. Pretty gutsy to just go for it here. Alright. Burst you. You got a protection spell or something? No. I mean, works for me. Magnetic Theft. Alright, land? Yeah. Alright. You can cast some spells now. Getting our Bonecrusher in is kind of nice here. They were willing to go for it last turn. They might go for it again, honestly. No, because we're tapping our lands too. Colossus Hammer. So big. Not sure how that dude is carrying that hammer, but... Skyclave Apparition. Sure. I mean, this is like fine. They kill our Bonecrusher, we just kill the Skyclave. Get a 3/3, keep attacking them. Sigurd is 8. That's kind of scary, because now they have a second hammer in their hand, we're screwed. But I don't think we can afford to not kill this. We could leave up 2 kill spells to try and like double beat them, but we can't actually beat the board right now. I think we just need this. If they have multiple, like a second hammer in hand and a way to equip it too, what are you gonna do? I don't think we can afford to play around that. We just gotta kill them. That's pretty cute, actually. So we can Needle the Nexus. I kind of like forgot about Nexus completely in sideboarding, which is like one of their best cards. That's actually really good for us. The problem is I don't want to discard any of these cards. So I want to play Pyromancer, but I don't want to. I want to keep the Bolt and the Needle. Because we really need a removal spell, I think, too. Or 9. I guess we could just like discard Bolt Obosh, just keep the Needle and just try and... We have more removal spells in our hand, obviously, or in our deck. Yeah, let's go for it. They are also at 9s, puts 9 power in play, right? 8 power in play, 8 power in play. Bolt Obosh, drawing another Needle and a Bonecrusher Giant. All right. You are up, my friend. We have Secret Lethal in hand. And I don't really know how they can kill us out of nowhere here. Oh, there's a lot of Zendikar Rising cards here. You know, Wirefire and the Skyclave Apparition. Skyclave, of course, making a huge impact on many formats. Very good card. Very fair card, though. Like, it's felt totally fair this game. We killed it. We have a 3/3 and a 1/1 in play, which is pretty cool. So I think the Skyclave they're gonna play Luris, which allows them to cast Core Firewalker, and that's it, which is fine. But that puts them to 8, and we just stomp it and kill them. So cool. This can't cast any spells, so it looks like they're pretty dead. Oh, unless they have another hammer in their hand. That would be devastating. If we were to go for the stomp, and they were to hammer in response. Oh boy, that's pretty gross. We're gonna play a Kazul's Cliffs with 1 card in hand. Draw a bolt, please. Oh no. Why you gotta do me like this? That last card is hammer, we get wrecked. Oh boy. But I can't attack with all ones. I just blocked that. Yeah, we gotta just play it safe here, I think. Just attack with these things. Just keep the stomp up. Win next turn. I don't think Firewalker matters that much. If they're thinking and they have the hammer and they're deciding if they want to not get blown out or not, so there's like nothing else to think about here. Besides, do I want to risk hammer or not? Wow. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe. All right, you're up. I'm just going to hold the second needle. So I don't really know what I want to call the needle. And if they play like another weird equipment or something. Name Sunbait Canyon, I guess. That's kind of nitty. Stoneforge Mystic, sure. They might get a hammer here, but we just have Bonecrusher Giant, so that's okay. Yeah, sure. There's your hammer. Stop. Hammer time. They're trying to cast it? I mean, don't have another hammer, I guess? So we had nowhere around it. All right. Well, they've got one really, really big Stoneforge Mystic, which is not cool. But it's also not the end of the world. It's just a huge idiot. 21-22. 9. I've got Pyromancer, Stomp. I mean, we can just like attack with everything. They block Pyromancer, make 2 tokens. Yeah. Bonecrusher doesn't matter. The size is irrelevant, so we just want to go wide. Because if they don't block, then we can just play Bonecrusher and chump block with that, which is fine too, I suppose. So they go to 6, and we just say go. I mean, is there a reason to play Needle on anything in particular? I don't think so. Highly doubt they're playing more than one Sword of Fire and Ice. So our tokens should be good to block here. I would buy my opponent ice cream if they have another copy of Kazul's Fury and they fling and kill us. I'll buy you ice cream, opponent. Pretty cool old border promo. It's the only kind of promo that really interests me. All right, opponent, what you got? I have a rule in Magic, and that rule is if a card costs 1 mana It doesn't matter how bad it looks. It might be playable. Case and point. All of these cards have been written on and proxied on in the past. Couldn't tell you how many of these are sitting in my bulk box somewhere. All right. May I block, please? Thank you, sir or ma'am. Fetch. I could draw a spell next turn. I could draw a spell next turn. I mean, they weren't dead yet, but I'll take that, sure. All right, so Core Firewalker is here. I'm actually pretty interested in Magus the Moon and Blood Moon again. We're on the draw now, which is a little worse, but the needles were kind of fine, actually. Trinisphere seems kind of bad because our 1-mana interaction is so important. And Kitchen Finks, don't really need a reason to get Kitchen Finks out of my deck. Yeah, Needle. Magus. Maybe we just want the Magus, not the Blood Moons proper. Keep the creature in our deck. We just want all the Blood Moon effects. Let's take the Finks out. Finks doesn't really matter that much. That's a lot of Blood Moon effects, actually. Let's get the Blood Moons. So we have Needle to deal with the Nexi anyway, so keep the creature count there for Lukka. I would like to Lukka once successfully this league. I know it's a lot to ask, but it really isn't that complicated. All right, this hand's pretty good. You can keep this. Put ball against a 6. Magus on 2, and 2 removal spells. Kind of a lot of tension, though, in their deck between Magmatic Theft and Sigarda's Aid, because one wants you to hold the card in your hand, and one wants you to have the card in play. Reminds me a bit of trying to draft the Sneak Attack Reanimator deck in Cube, where half your cards want a card where one plays, and half your cards want it in other place, and it gets really awkward as the games play out. All right. Sprawl. I guess green. We have Pyromancer. Yeah, make it red. We cut some of our Finks, and we want to have a lot of red mana for bolts and stuff. So we want to be able to play Pyromancer and Bolt in the same turn. So that's a lot of red symbols. Inspiring Vantage, sure. Nice Core Firewalkers. All right. I mean, this is a pretty easy Magus of the Moon, I think. We got Lukka. Are we gonna do it? I think this is the game, folks. I think this is it. I got a feeling. Hopefully Magus will cut them off of white mana. So Skyclave Apparition, Core Firewalker, all looking pretty bad here. Nexus looking pretty bad. We like that. Red. Sword of Feast and Famine. Okay, sure. And we're gonna sprawl too. Whew, boy, we're cooking now. That's awkward that we can't actually use the sprawl. Well, I guess we can, because we can Pyromancer also. So it does guarantee a mana source. All right, so we'll float a green, I guess. I guess we gotta pitch both removal spells, which kind of sucks, but we should have Emrakul next turn, so we want the Sprawl to guarantee land number 5, so this is a little awkward, but alright, well, there's land number 5, alright, so Put that there. Put that there. This is going to be on green. All right. I mean... Emmy is queued up. Oh, I'm here for this. I'm so here for this. And a sprawl for good measure. Your turn. Finally. Game, thank you. I just want to give you specifically, a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've made it to the end of the video and you got paid off. You've been waiting an entire video for this. Almost 2 hours of content. Not everyone watches all of every video. You know, it's pretty common for people to watch the first match or two. You know, I'd say my videos on my personal YouTube, maybe 20% of my viewers make it through an entire video because they're long. It's kind of like how you design it. You know, people can watch a few matches or watch the whole thing, but you, my friend, watched the whole video and you got paid off. That's called karma. You deserved it. I hope you enjoyed it. Give yourself a high five. Maybe say hi in the comments because that was awesome. So 2 and 3 is not an ideal result, but we did run pretty bad. I do think his deck is misbuilt. You got to have at least 22 lands in here, I think. If not, maybe 23. We got to make our land drops because we're trying to cast Lukka on turn 4. Kitchen Finks is pretty bad. It's okay, but maybe only want like 2 copies of Kitchen Finks. And I would want the Trinispheres on the board. So I wouldn't mind cutting like Sphere, Finks for like land. I don't know if there's a flipped land that matters in this deck. Probably not. I mean, Spikefield Hazard's not the worst, but it's a little sketch. Maybe a 3rd Blood Moon. So we got Finks, Sphere for Blood Moon, land. Maybe play one of the Burst Lightnings main, extra removal spell. Not really sure, but most important thing is this deck needs another land or two. You got to make those land drops. We got to cast Lukka on time, and more Blood Moons make more sense too. But definitely a pretty fun version of this deck. Lukka does seem like it'd be better in more fair matchups. Didn't really play any of those, but deck seems super sweet. So hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Make sure you follow the YouTube channel here on Cool Stuff. Go to Cool Stuff proper. Check out the articles. Again, Friday article from me, Monday video from me. Great content all week. Free, no paywall. And 5% off. Promo code Jim5. You get 5% off your order and a free Jim Davis Goblin token. Free with your order. 5% off and a free token. That's going to be great too. Do your holiday shopping, card games, board games. They got it all. CoolStuffInc.com. Check them out. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.